So I'm also intending on throwing a couple of these up, like on Facebook or something like that. He's a little girthy. Yeah, well, he didn't believe in keto, I think. Just saying. But someone who's playing ogres, got swole. I'm not so sure about swole as hit the buffet. Although his arms are... Ooh, wow. That was right off the top of the screen, wasn't it? Those arms are... It does not look like the arms of a scientist, I'm just saying. It don't look like you've been skipping leg day either. Alright. So, what I was saying is, I think we'll use... Wanting something with a little more orange, not really so much canary yellow. So I'll try. The last time I used this paint, it exploded on me. Like it's in a dropper bottle. But I went to squeeze the paint and it just paint everywhere. It was great. It really was. Including the model that I was working on. So just paint went everywhere and loads of fun. So we'll switch over here to the yellow and try to get his suit and his boots done up. See where we go from there. Looks like I may have to go a little thicker or put a bunch of coats. So doesn't look like the camera's got a real good judge on the color of this, because, or at least on my monitor, that looks like canary yellow. But on the brush and stuff, it's got a little more, on the brush and on the model, or at least in person, it's got a little more orange to it. All the fat kids. Great. But try to go around. So I'll probably put a wash on top of this to actually change that color just a little bit, and to get into those, to show off a little bit of the sculpting details, because they're there. Damn, are they there? And it'd be a shame not to show them. Alright, so we're going to have to come back to that boot here in a little bit. Let that dry up a little bit, and then we'll go with the second coat on top of it. So, in case you don't know what I'm working on, this is a game from Atomic Mass Games called Crisis Protocol, and it's all, well, not all, it's a bunch of the characters from the Marvel Universe. I was corrected yesterday. These are the comic versions. You'll probably recognize a few cues here and there, because the movies did take a lot of the stuff from the comics for inspiration. They didn't exactly match them up, but if you've never seen the comics, you're still going to be able to recognize these characters, whether it be an MCU film or Sony, or, you know, whoever had the rights at the time. Just trying to get a good base coat down. Still let a little bit of that Zenithal show through to get a little bit of shading in that yellow. You asked for him. You got him, John. I think you, Or at least when I looked, you and Zach were the only ones that had replied, and you both said Doc Ock, so I had originally planned on doing Red Skull, because, yeah. But y'all wanted Doc Ock, you get Doc Ock. Not a problem. He's got to get done anyway. Alright, so let's move up here to his gloves. This is on a little brighter part, so maybe the camera will show the actual color that's coming in. I don't know. So I don't have like studio quality stuff going here. Not only do I'm not painting studio quality, I'm not filming in studio quality. That's right. That's an iPhone 8 that you're looking through, folks. Nothing but the best, or whatever we have available. What question did you have? Robin, what question did you have? I forget, this is like on a 20-second delay. From the time I talk to the time y'all hear it is actually about 20 seconds or so. Oh, I know what question you had. You were going to wonder why I wasn't painting Red Skull. Well, I put a finished picture in the North Georgia Crisis Protocol group. Yes, there's a group. Check it out if you're in North Georgia or not in North Georgia. And just like Crisis Protocol. Yep, that's what I figured. I posted the completed picture of Mr. Stark yesterday, or today actually, and posted on there what did everyone want to see painted up next. And as Zach and John were the only ones that answered, and they both said Doc Ock, we end up painting Doc Ock. Go back to work. Make that money. So in the box, there's like pictures. There's plenty of reference pictures in the box as far as painting guides and stuff like that. But, you know, I don't think they're going to knock on your door if you want to paint it up a different way. There's some of the molding put in. So, like, okay, so take, for instance, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's got, you know, how many thousands of different costumes and all that fun stuff. The model that's in here it's got the webbing and the spider and all that from the suit built into the sculpt. And it lends itself toward the classic red and blue. You know, just think any of the Spider-Man films or any of the Spider-Man comics, or original red and blue with the darked out webbing and all that stuff. It's just sort of built to make that really easy to do. But I don't think there's anything that would stop you from maybe doing the symbiote. You know, you could do it in all black, or you could change it up to like the that red and gold and blue that he does. The only thing that I don't think you could do is I don't think you're going to be able to do like a Miles Morales. I think up in the corner over here. I've got a little slideshow going of all the ones that they've announced so far. But I wouldn't be too surprised to see like Miles Morales show up. So you've got, Miles's, and give them long enough to get through, and you might see Ultimate Spider-Man or something like that. You could probably mod it around pretty easy. A little bit of green stuff and some patience. You could probably do just about any of the costumes. But they are sculpted, like I said, it is sculpted to sort of do that red and black really, or red and blue really easy. So I'm just going to go back down here and try to brighten up that yellow a little bit. So, yeah, the box is coming with Captain Marvel, Captain America, Red Skull, Doc Ock, Baron Zemo, Crossbones, Black Widow, see, now my brain is just gone. Trying to do two things at once. Iron Man, Ultron. Yep, can't think of the rest. Anyway, I know that they've announced a bunch. Like, there's a pack coming that will have Vision and Winter Soldier. So soon you'll get Bucky in there. And then there's a pack coming that just has Venom and all his big stompy goodness. Hulk is coming. MODOK is coming. Black Panther's coming as it rotates through the thing. I mean, there's a bunch of characters that they've already announced, and I'm sure that they've got some waiting in the wings already. I would go ahead and paint this, but I want to get an orange down first. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. I'll switch over, grab a little bit. Nope, I don't want that one. Venom's coming. I know I've seen that. I hadn't heard anything on the others, but they're all in there, so they're all. I'm pretty sure that they're all in play. You know, if this does well, then sooner or later we'll probably see them, as they tend to be pretty big characters. Yes, I am thinning the crap out of these paints. You can't really see it down here, but hold on a second. Let's see if I can get this up. So this also has some paints on it from yesterday, but I'm using a wet palette and thinning the crap out of these things. Like over here it's still a little thick, but this is where I was working off of, so just take a little bit of water and put it in there. Sorry, Sandy. Blade's getting a Disney series? Huh, I didn't know that. Like, is it going to be live action, or is it going to be... And when your little brother shows up in the chat. Alright. So yeah, probably just went a little thinner than I actually wanted to. Going across that center. But we'll let that sit in there and dry, and then we'll bring some yellow into it. But we'll use it a little different. I'm going to go back with that yellow again, because... Oops. Had they... I remember seeing that, because I remember, like, there was a big thing about Wesley Snipes was being supportive of the... Ali taking over. But do they actually have a date on that yet? I don't know. I hadn't heard. And do we make Ryan Reynolds do a cameo in that? Just for cringe factor? Along the top. Oh, Triple H. I guess they haven't said who they were going to get to do Whistler yet, huh? Technically a trilogy because there's 3 films. But when your main star won't talk to the director except through post-it notes, probably pushing the definition. So for anybody that joined, this is one of the models out of the core set for Marvel Crisis English. I speak it. This is the one of the models from the core set of Crisis Protocol from Atomic Mass Games. It's coming out on November 15th. And this is actually what's going to be the demo copy for Gigabytes in Marietta. And I got to paint it. So I'm trying to get through these pretty quick. Do a nice little tabletop so you can recognize who all the characters are. English, yes. Just trying to get a good tabletop to where you can look at that character and go, yep, I know who that is. And have a little fun, get the game in. How far along are we? about a half hour in. Okay. Gonna try to get as far as I can with this, and alright, there's a couple spots of the green that are sort of peeking through as it dried. Go back and hit those. Oop, and I'm off camera. There we go. Just clean up around those knuckles where the yellow sort of hit. A little more around there. So, when I first started watching paint streams and everything, I would see folks like Dallas Kemp, and they would be painting on what looks sort of, I'm assuming that it's just like the top off of a rattle can, and it's like on this little pedestal, and it's stuck right here, and they're painting around it and all that stuff, and I'm like, man, that is weird. Why would you do that? Now that I'm trying to paint on a stream, I now know why. So you don't move the model off the camera. It's genius. Yep, when I started painting, I would just put everything on its base and hold it by the base. And then I realized I'm going through like 4 or 5 of these pill bottles every month and just tossing them out. And so I started holding on to them. They make a great little thing. You take a little poster tack, you just stick it to the top. And voila. Alright. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of that yellow, drop it in the center, because I'm wanting to sort of make that look glowy. So I'm going to really thin out that yellow. I'm just going to start in the center and sort of work my way out. Do that really thin. And work my way back toward the center. And let that dry, and we'll do it again here in a minute. Basically just work our way to where that yellow comes up, and then we'll take a little white and we'll dab it into that. Everything will be hunky-dory. Just trying to get that collar on his suit there. Probably, let's change over and do the skin. What do we want to do? What do we want to do? Alright, I'm going to start light and work our way up and then come back and flatten it out. That'll work. So, I used to like dab a bunch of paint onto the brush, and I finally saw a trick that was worth doing a little bit. I'd just take a little bit of the paint, dab it on the end of the brush and then bring it down here to the wet palette and drop it on. And that way we don't take too much paint, but we also don't like soak the brush in it either. Don't ask why I licked the end of the brush. I don't know. Alright, a little bit of water. There we go. It's okay if I get it on his glasses. I'm going to try to keep it off his hair as much as I can. Fred Williams. I hadn't seen that name in a minute. What's up, man? I'm going to go around. I'm going to try to keep it off his glasses, but if I get it on there, if I get it on his hair, that's alright, because we're going to come back over the top and paint those. Get his ear. We're definitely going to hit that frame going along the side of his head. And if you're looking at him going, you know, Doc looks a little pale, don't worry about it. We're gonna darken that up. We'll do a wash on him here in a minute, which will darken the skin up. And we'll get it and work our way back with some highlights and bring the skin back up. Although, you know, he is a scientist. How much sun does he actually see? Alright, if I remember right, the back of his head is pretty much shaved. As I go out of the camera again. So we're going to do the old bowl cut. If it turns out, I'll take a look later at some of the reference stuff. If it turns out later that that's supposed to be hair back there, we can change it. It's not a big deal. This is where leaving his extra arms off probably might have been a good idea. Probably end up giving him some fuzz on the back side there. Let's see how it goes. Trying to get around. Yep, we're just gonna paint right over that Joker because we'll darken it back up when I do the when I do his goggles. So, oh wow, there we go. Nope, yep, nope, yep, there we go. Got the skin on his face done up. We can go back to that. Is that the power source, I guess? I don't know that much about Doc Ock. I'm assuming that that's probably like the whatever it is that powers this, the arms and stuff. So you gotta have a power source, right? It's not running on double A's, right? So we're just gonna take that yellow. Again, we're just gonna work our way out, nice and easy. Give it a couple extra dabs in the middle with the yellow. Let it dry. Air dry. So then his hair is supposed to be brown, so we're gonna, I don't know if I want that brown. Not a whole lot of difference there, huh? No, don't want that color brown. Now we're gonna go with this. And what we'll do is we'll just bring it back up with the highlights. Actually got to switch brushes here. That one's feeling a little loaded. Probably need to clean it. Who'd have thunk it, right? So, little trick, if you ever want to see if your paint's about right, hit it along the hand over here. One, it'll give you a nice little point on your brush. But two, it also gives you an idea of just how that paint's going to cover. Right now it's a little thick. I want a little more water. Make sure I'm still on screen, and we're going to go with a really dark brown. Like I said, it's fine, it's fine, everything's fine. Now if I can stay off the skin, that would be even better. So mainly try to work right along the edge. Nice and fine detail. And then I can go up here and just, you know, put some paint down. Once you get that little border, the rest up there is easy. There we go. So it looks like we'll get most of the base colors down for this, and then probably end up finishing it off stream. Probably just show you a completed model tomorrow when I do another one, or maybe tonight. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Again, this is all for Crisis Protocol. Game coming out November 15th. You can find it at Atomic Mass Games, or look up your local game store and hit them up. I'm sure they would appreciate the business, and you might find some fun folks to play games with. So if you're in the Atlanta area, swing by Giga. Alright, so all his... Do I want to do... Do I want his glasses metallic, or do I just want them black? The goggle glasses sort of thing here. I don't know. Decisions, decisions, decisions. I'm going to take a little bit more of that yellow, go back to that center right there. We'll work on that glow effect. We're going to start in the middle. We're just not going to work our way out as far, and we don't want it in a nice consistent pattern, so we're just going to sort of push it out. Emily has spoken. Metallic. The glasses are going to be metallic. Black with a metal sheen. I think I've got Boiler Black, which is a... I just have to dig it up. It's actually a black with a metallic sheen, so we'll do that. So there's that. So you're probably wondering why the tentacles and the belt and the glasses and all that stuff aren't done at all. So I always say, well, I try, if I'm thinking about it, I try to save my the metallics for the end, because I use a different set of brushes for my metallics, because the little flakes just eat my brushes up and they end up all over the place. It's a cool color. I really like Boiler Black. It's just one of those things that you don't see too often, and it's a fun color. So before I take off here, what we're going to do is I'm going to take a couple of washes. I'm just going to set that on top of there so I don't sit this down, and I'm going to take a couple of washes, and depending on what company, whoever stuff you grab, the names change, but the effects are the same. I mean, it just depends on what you like and what you want to use. So I've got Reichland Flesh Shade, which I personally like for flesh. I try not to use it really, really high amounts, because it will go really, really red really, really fast. But for something like this, it tends to do it up just about right. So I'm just taking a little bit. I don't want it to pool heavy. Basically darkening up that skin. Give it a little extra around the ears where there's a little ridge and stuff for it to catch. But like I said, I don't want it too heavy. He's got a couple little wrinkles on the back of his neck there. it up into that. Go down around there, get around his ear, up in there, down around the. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of these extra little details around his nose and his brow, because I'll come back over the top on those with some brighter colors and bring some definition back into his face. Right now it looks a little splotchy, but I'm not worried about it. Like I said, this is an iPhone 8, so don't expect the prettiest picture, but so it's getting there. Glowing is, I'll probably put another couple of coats right here on his on that little reactor to make it look a little more glowy. Just a few more here and there, and that'll pick up. There we go. Oh, I put it under the banner, damn it. So there's that. Just a little more right there on that cheekbone right underneath his glasses. Alright. So while I'm doing that, you're like, wow, those gloves look like just a giant yellow blob. Not a problem. Little Seraphim sepia. Brownish red. Once again, not an art student. Not 100% sure. It's definitely got some brown into it. It's got some red into it. And on yellow, it will make absolutely everything pop. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run this stuff right in these little grooves with our brush. So we'll let it do the work. You're like, why would you do this? Because I'm nuts. But it really doesn't take that much. You know, you could just take it and run it all over the glove and then come back and do highlights. But I don't want to do that. I just want to run it right in these grooves. Just give myself a little bit of contrast in there. Right there. And then right here where this ridge is. Gives a nice color to that yellow. And it breaks it up a little bit. It's like back here on his gloves where it meets where those knuckles are. Put a little bit more of it in there. Get that shadow, and then right there where it meets onto his chest. Give that a little bit of a shot. And we'll run it. Like I said, we're not trying to just drown it. But like right here on his fingers, we'll give that little dab and then run around the outside edge of it to sort of give it a dark line. Here on the outer edge of his big yellow glove. We'll give that edge right there. So now it started to break that just massive yellow up a little bit. Might add just a little bit more. Like that. Down here where the shadows are really thick, we'll put a little bit more just so we get those shadows. Imagine that. Alright. So here's where it's going to get tricky. Is that he's got like a little line right up the middle. We're just going to give a little bit of shade through there. Right here where this ripple is in his costume. Just gonna run it right around that collar at the base and at the top. Just a little something to break all that yellow up, so it's not just a giant yellow slab. There's a little edge right here. Right around that edge. Just gonna sort of pull it and then drag it. It's like a little crease right there. That comes back like that. And then right up along top of where that meets into the backpack. Just put a little bit along there. And run some of that this way. I want some of it right there around his neck. So, like I said, it just breaks up that yellow so it's not like one giant slab of yellow. I'm going to do the same thing around his boots. Just knock that out real fast. No, you're not supposed to put washes on with care, but I'm just trying not to wash everything, so... I just don't want, like, brown everywhere on my yellow. Not so much of a wash, more of a dark line with a wash. I mean, honestly, you could just take it and slab it right in there with some Seraphim Sepia. But then what you got to do is you got to go back and bring the yellow back out. So you'd have to go back over all the high points and do the yellow again. Which is entirely possible. You could do that. But I don't want to. Antiquing, yes, there we go. Why the hell not? Is that a term? Well, I guess it is now. We've said it. It's on the internet. It's got to be true. So I don't know if you can see the difference in the boots. That yellow's still pretty daggone bright on this camera. But there is a difference. It's coming along. Finish up this boot, and I'm probably going to wrap this up. So what do we got left? We've got, so going back with a wash over one to darken up the green parts of the jumpsuit. Doing a wash, something to darken that up. Probably like a Thonian camo shade or something like that, just to give it a little more depth to it. And that'll also give it, that Thonian camo shade's got like a brown in it too. So not only are you hitting with green, you got a little bit of brown in there, which will tie into this coat that we're putting on right now on the boots and stuff, all over the yellow. Once again, not an art major, but I like it, so that's the way I'm going to do it. Don't ask me for what the official name of it is. But, so, just take that, tie that in a little bit. Voila. Viola. Now I can take Seraphim. Well, crap. That was nice. So I originally had that off to the side, but I moved it right in the middle. Anyway, we're gonna it's been about an hour on this stream, so I might take some more Seraphim Sepia and go and do some of this on the green to give it a little depth, make it stand out a little bit more, give it a little more shadow, and then we'll do the metallics and all that, and we'll do something very similar to the glow from here onto these, and then I'm going to use a little boiler black to do in his goggles, and I'm going to try to do like a orange yellow glaze across it to make those look shiny, like they're reflecting something, like he's staring at some kind of reactor or something. I don't know. It's Doc Ock. Who knows what he's working on? Anyway, that's what we're going to do off stream. It's been about an hour, and I found that about an hour is about as long as you really want to run any of these. So with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody that stopped by. Hey, look. So thanks for stopping by, burning up part of your day with all this. Again, it's Crisis Protocol from Atomic Mass Games. You can find it at their website. You can find it at your local game store. If you happen to be in Atlanta, check out Gigabytes. They got a real nice deal with it. Check on their website. Well, check on their Facebook. I think it's posted on there. There's still pre-order times and all that stuff. The game comes out on November 15th. Really nice. About 10 models and some terrain. So everything you need to start off, even if you've never played a war game. So till either later tonight when I do another one, or sometime tomorrow, have fun, have a good day, and go paint something. Maybe I'll click and turn this off. How about that?